Switch that V6 for the EV. Ride it around my city. You should come ride with me, yeah. Feel me if you hear me sip. Water like a fish sip. Box water to the gillies, yeah. This a new wave, this a takeover. Do it for the future, time to get a world a makeover. Time never stops, no the timing is not. Time to clean up the block. Streets been a mess, how can I breathe? Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate, we need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it changes cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the floor, sweep up the scene. We going green, work as a team. First rule to me, let's keep it clean. Watch how we build, clean air we need. Start from the floor, sweep up the scene. We going green, we going green. New car goes zoom, but it's quiet. You can hear me come and think I'm lying. If I said I'm perfect, I'd be lying. I can say I'm perfect, but I'm trying. I'ma give my all till I'm dying. I'm the new Captain Planet, here to make changes, not damage. World on my shoulders.
If you just don't. If you just don't.
Hey, Kimmy, baby, I had a book over here in this drawer. You seen it?
You mean a little black book? Oh, honey, I cleaned out those drawers in that whole room and made a big donation to Goodwill. But don't worry, we can get you another one.
Oh, hell no.
You're never going to believe what happened to me today at the Goodwill. I found a book of C phrases, honey. I can get those hair transplants now. Oh.
Go best friend. That's my best friend. Go best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. Go best friend. That's my best friend. Go best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
Welcome, everyone, to Late Night Crypto Charts with Road Dog. My name is Lane, and I will be your tour guide for this evening. Well, we happen to land up on the Tangem website. Wow, how did that ever happen? Oh my gosh. This is displaying the chip that's at the heart of the Tangem card. Looks just like a credit card, but it's a crypto wallet that you can use with an NFC-enabled phone. And at the heart of every Tangem wallet is a powerful certified chip developed in collaboration with Samsung Semiconductor. These are some of the cool things about this card. The highest chip security standard, maximum resistance to dust, water temperature, environmental protection, resistant to X-rays, electromagnetic impulses. Hey, Tether? Ledger? You can't say that. And electrostatic discharge. It's just a chip with an antenna. There's no points of vulnerability or elements that are prone to failure. Counterfeit protection, and it's always ready to go without a charge. Tangem wallet. Need a 10% discount off of this? Hey, go over to tangem.com or just load the app, order through the app. Use my code DAWG, get 10% off. Looks out for my peoples, and it helps the channel as well. Strega, man, what's up? I see you out there. Guys, it happened again. I got lost in time. It's crazy how that works. So making sure I got everything checked up here. I was working on some video today, but been messing with my sound levels. All right. So here we are on Bitcoin, man, on the 15-minute. Remember, we were looking at this last night in this area as a possible retest for this trend line. And the good news is it didn't crash through it. It bounced, it came back, did a potential double bottom, bouncing up. Short term's looking very interesting. Will this hold? I don't know, man. Will it? We still got the very interesting tomorrow coming, Friday the 13th, which is also a solar eclipse. And there's a very likely chance that something erratic may happen to drive us supposedly downward. Now, I'm trying to look for signs for this on the chart that we may be headed down. There's a few little indicators here, but I'm not seeing the big strong one. It would just like drive us to the bottom, but would it? We've been talking about the possibility of a black swan event. We talked about that back in September, trying to come up with a date range and this and that, using some other techniques that I think are very interesting with WDKN, one of the greatest traders ever who could pinpoint price and time, as in price and date. He was pretty amazing. He took a lot of those secrets to the ground, but there were some clues, and we just play around with some of his ideas and techniques. But there is that solar eclipse that's coming tomorrow, Friday the 13th also. That part doesn't really play into it. The eclipse does. And something may happen. So I'm expecting a move. And I'm expecting it to be kind of a freaky move. I just don't, trying to figure out, well, are you going up? Are you going down? So within the next 48 hours, let's go to let's try a 2 hour. A lot of people like the 2 hour chart, cut out noise and kind of let you see the charts a little bit more clearly. What we got going on here? Well, we got the death cross on the 2 hour. Boom, boom, boom. What we do have going in our favor is a thickening Ichimoku cloud. May draw us to. We have a trend line we got to get past. We are above the 9 moving average, so there's a start. It's not overly bullish, people. It's not overly bullish. The most bullish thing that we have going on right now is that this big trend line, we bounced off of it twice. That's the best thing that we have going for us right now. It appears to be an authentic retest of the trend line, which normally in normal situations you would start seeing higher highs and higher lows out of this situation. That we should be going on the upside. Trying to confirm that with some bigger time frames. And there's a few signs, maybe, but most notably there's some signs saying we're just getting started on something a little bit downwardy. Because look how steep these angles are, I don't know what that is, but that's 5 o'clock if it were a clock. And this is pointing more like toward 4. So it's 4:25 on the clock. That's pretty steep angles right there. Generally, you'll find that the more steep the angle, the more intense or more strong, or more momentum will be behind the move. Whereas if they're more shallow crosses, then, it's usually like this over here, shallow cross, not much usually happens. But on this, remember we were looking several months seeing a red dot on Bitcoin on the monthly. I don't think it was this chart. I'm on a futures chart here. There may be some differences, slight differences there. But she's been looking like she wants to come down for a while. Now on the 5-day, we have this big Ichimoku cloud, like the red ones like to spit us up, put us in La La Land in the middle and then get us out on the other side. It's usually a good thing. Well, now we're flirting with doing the opposite. On the 5-day, coming down to the 3-day, we're already in the middle of this mess. The good thing I can see is that we got a red Ichimoku cloud over here that we could, after coming down to maybe these areas, 25.6 according to the cloud in this area at the bottom of the cloud, start working our way up there. But does it have to be? Does it have to be? There's a good chance that it can be, as our stochastics keep coming to the downside. We got this big old, or this red dot here on Market Cipher peeking out. It makes this one of the most easiest indicators to kind of read. BMC if you want the free version, over on TradingView. Few people seem to plug that. I stick up for the little guy, the open source guy. Money flow is coming down. That's the biggest thing. There's all the indicators here are coming to the downside on the 3-day. So it'll take a little while for things to straighten out. We're retesting the 21 moving average here, and that's currently coming in at 26,664. And price is currently sitting at 26,761. So we got about $100 difference to get there. Now, if we lose that, well, we are looking at this area right around here between the 100 and 200 moving average. That's 26,000. So we've been looking at these ideas for a little while. Watching the bigger time frames tell us that it was going to do this. Watching the little time frames confuse us and say, I don't know, trying to make it the second guess. But the bigger time frames, they win. They have the most moxie out of all of them. More gravity goes to the bigger time frames there. Sometimes I just feel like some of these pro YouTube grifters out there, crypto grifters, I don't know, it's like they're a little bit late to the game here on these things. And from what I can tell, it's mainly because they miss a few of the core concepts, and mainly it's the bigger time frames. So paying attention to the bigger time frames is very key, whether you're a day trader or investor or however, because they trump. So as wild as it seems, it looks like there's a possibility for, in all reasonableness, that we would get a bounce up here, but the bigger time frames are just saying, baby. Overall, I may be pulling something on you. So it is quite possible here on the 4 hour to come up and retest this area about 27,100, 122, somewhere through there. I'm looking at this. I talk a lot about moving averages lately because there's a key to it. There's a dance to it. It's a very good system. I don't know many people that actually go use this system on YouTube. Some use a little, use some of the moving averages, but use all 5 of them. I've seen a couple that do understand understand this concept. It's nothing totally unique. Maybe I've got a few moving averages that they don't have, but I've seen several. I've seen the people that actually have the same one, have some of the same ideas that I do. I think it's a good, accurate system. So technically we are in a, it's a bullish falling wedge, or a bullish megaphone. It's kind of easier to say megaphone than descending broadening pattern. A DCP. The biggest thing that we have going against us is being under the 200 moving average, and that is this yellow line. As a general rule, you want to be above that on the 4 hour and then on the daily. And generally seeing it happen in that succession leads to a good move, an upward trend. She's trying. Will she do it? I don't know, man. I mean, this one just now crossed over it. It may take it a few candles to try to work its way back up there. And until the line actually crosses above it, I mean, it's not a strong move. It's going to be sideways. So this area about 27,100 could play out. I'm still curious, but we have many hours for tomorrow, whether it's going to be something just happening or, maybe it's just a gradual thing. But it's a solar eclipse. Let's see what happens. I should have had some back-tested dates on solar eclipses in the past. That might be something to look up. Let's test the validity of this idea. Thank you, Google, for always doing this to me, especially when I'm on a live stream. I appreciate you, honey. Annual solar eclipse is October the 14th. Now I got sources saying the 13th. I'm going with the 13th. April 8th. Oh, I'm not looking for that one. I'm looking for previous ones. You are not helping me out. We've had solar eclipses here, man. This should have been just an easy answer, shouldn't it? Let's look in 16. Oh, come on. You gotta give me a date here. March 9th, 2016. Let's go with that. Is that it? Total, as a total solar eclipse. March 9th, 2016. What'd you do, Bitcoin? I have no history on that chart. You suck, man. Switch charts here. So March 9th, 2016. Where were you? Gosh, I got to keep coming back. I know there were some solar eclipses in between now and then. Well, if I were to notice anything overall, I mean, we were headed up anyway. That was a lower high. I see nothing drastic with that date whatsoever. If anything, it went on our side, driving us up for the next few days. And pretty much there on after. That was a cool time. That was right before reaching what, $700. This is proving to be totally worthless for me right now, so I've gotten nothing enlightened come from this for me right now. Sorry to have bored you, but now we know for at least that date. I may look into that offline. If I see anything, I will share that. But Friday the 13th, what's going to happen? What kind of day will it be in a world where Michael Myers runs free with crypto? I think this is interesting how it just loves to stay away from my little special buy zone. How dare you, Bitcoin, not come down and let me get a little taste of these juicy prices? What's wrong with you? Look at this doji candle right here. That's interesting. And then we got this is looking a little bit bullishy for me on this particular chart with the little candles going on. So, and we got a 200 moving average at 26,864. Are you trying to do something, Bitcoin? Are you trying? I hope you're trying. Dominance needs to do a little something. We've got the dollar right over here with this lower left corner. Trying to do a retest. That's not going to be too healthy for the ARM market. Over in the upper right hand corner, altcoins continue to sell out while people seem to want to be in the US dollar. Or in the Tether stablecoin rather, as Tether dominance is going up. So lots of people looking at the dollar, some kind of eyeballing Bitcoin. I'm kind of betting gold's probably and silver are probably of interest right now. Thought I had them on here. On my little watch list over here. Do I not? I've got them on one list. Floki Toshi. I do have Floki Safe Moon still on the window over here. I almost closed it before the stream, but I said, nah, you never know. Oh, she's going up. Look at that. Look at that. Nice. Look at that. My little bargain zones are not getting hit anymore. I'm taking that as a bullish sign. I really am taking that as an overall bullish sign from the market. I'm going to have to adjust those little juicy bottoms there. So it's in a, technically it's a bearish pattern, but it's up at the top of it. Will it continue out? Well, I don't know. It's going to take a big move for that. If it doesn't, no problems. The biggest thing now is for it to hold, what is it, 2207? So it is up already from this juicy buy zone. Oh goodness, what do we had a big old target up there. So it's already up 74%. Oh, my bags be popping. I hadn't even checked them. So just from down here in these bottoms, if you've been watching it or buying the breakout of this area, that's I think I added to my bags here when it broke out. So pretty much, yeah, right there. 74% up on that. Cool. And it had the potential to, we had a higher target, much higher target. I think this is a 382 Fibonacci area right here at 49.34. Biggest thing is this 200 moving average. That's where we're headed ultimately. So that's at 58.43. We're going to have to come up and test that. We've already passed them all down here, right? Let's take the Bollinger Bands off there. Well, screwed that up, didn't I? Okay. We're going to leave the Bollinger Bands there. Our indicators of the MACDs wanted to go up. I never get anything on the RSI over here. I don't know why. It's always at 100%. That's just kind of weird. Some kind of glitch there. So we're approaching the top of that pattern, and we've also got a bit of resistance right here. So it's on this trend line, 2777. If we get a pullback to 2777 and hold that area, it should still be good for some more upside. If it continues breaking up, it may possibly go parabolic. That's one thing that can happen if we break to the upside of this pattern, cross this trend line, and close a candle above it. That would be extremely cool. It would probably look something like that. But if I had to guess, I would say there'd probably be some rejection here coming back to this area and getting what we call a partial decline and then starting to work up. And she may switch to a... She may switch trend lines. She may jump one, I don't know. We'll keep watching that, but up 77%, man. Hey, awesome. That's definitely bullish. Trigger says, I've been looking at the charts today. I guess it's the Caroline effect. The sexy little wood nymph. All right, let me get on the right list here. Late night picks. I'm jumping right back over to total 3. Crypto total market cap on its own chart. I want to look at some of the indicators here. See on the daily, MACD's not liking it at all. It's like we're just getting started. Remember, we're right here. And, you know, it could be several days before we start seeing some turnaround there. Weekly overall is still going sideways. I want to keep a watch on the weekly to see how it does. It just keeps getting squeezed. It's going to keep doing that, and then I think there's going to be a pop. There, that should lead to a pop one way or the other. Unfortunately, we're on the downside over here, so naturally we think it would kind of be inclined to the downside, but nothing confirmed yet. Just keep an eye on that, but just keep that in mind. Coming to the monthly on our MACD, it's starting to swing around a little bit. That's a little hopeful, but this it could also be losing steam a little bit too. So just keeping a watchful eye on our indicators on the bigger time frames, and that way you can catch this stuff a little bit earlier. Than watching those 15-minute guys that just want to flag everything out. I mean, still watch them too. Not saying that. Saying I'm not saying anything. Total 3, just daily does not look so hot. So altcoins apparently will be suffering. Look at this week. This is our top 100 for the week. It is a sea of blood and red. Horrible. Which means usually translates into some juicy prices. So for the DCAers out there, man, I'm telling you, this is your season. This is your season for DCA. That means don't go all in. Gosh, no. But nibble like crazy. Start snacking, gain a few pounds, put some weight on, sit on the couch, nibble on altcoins. But just know, they may have a special sale coming up soon, and you can get like a buffet. So don't fill up too much. Save some room, baby. You got dessert coming. I mean, this is like a 5-course meal or something, man. Don't gobble everything all at once. Just nibble. Have the appetizer. This is appetizer season right now. I think that's a good way to describe it for the DCAers. It's appetizers, baby. Yeah. Lokidoshi says, thank you, bro. Hey, my pleasure, man. Hey guys, if you can.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Elvis likes to be liked. It does help the channel. It does help us reach a bigger audience. At least that's what they say. I'm taking the word for it. So we can look about any altcoins, and Naka is still doing pretty nicely. Holding her ground up there, still technically, possibly going parabolic. Starting to lose a little steam here, but she has not broken her trend line yet. I mean, she can bounce off this trend line and recover. That would be sweet. But Naka went down from 80 cents, now she's down to 60 cents, so she's a little bit on sale. I mean, she's not down to 28 cents anymore. Not at 48 cents, but interesting price to watch. She may come down to 52. Could do that and still be okay. But so far, she is holding her ground. I think it's interesting. Stochastics have bottomed out. Now we got to watch them to see if they start going to the upside, which they're probably not going to do right now because money flow is coming down. Money flow is the biggest thing on this whole market cipher system, in my personal opinion. That's the one to pay attention to, is the red and the green. Because those are some of your biggest clues about how well things are going to perform. But possibility there, Naka. Do something for us, Naka. Fetch AI. It's only at 20 cents? I thought you were 19. So you're doing a little bit better than what I thought. Not looking so great here, though. Kind of concerned about the break of this. It is a break of the trend line. It broke it here. Technically, we can do this. And that may be an area of support right there. which lines up with our little fib area. Bring that over. Guess we don't need that anymore. And so far, just in the channel, which has about 64% chance to break to the upside. Don't see it doing it just yet. It's got to come down here and find a bottom somewhere. It's got some therapy to go through. It's got some issues it's got to work with and kind of work things out. I think a lot of these altcoins have some issues to work out. A0, for instance, got some issues because she's maybe doing the rabbit run right here, or may just be coming straight down. You can't tell these symmetrical triangles because you can't trust them. You can't trust these guys. No, these guys. I ignore them. I don't even trade those guys. When I see one of these, I just like, nope, no, thank you. Not interested. We'll just see what you're going to do. So if you'd like to ride the roller coaster, bewildered, be shocked, this pattern is just made for you. If you are the ultimate risk taker that does not give a dang, you just want to go for the ride, this is your pattern, the symmetrical triangle, man. Because she will take you for a ride. She's just like a politician. Zen is coming down and retesting the bottom trend line here. Still, oh man. I just don't ever like to see the 9 across the 21. I just don't. It means, hey, baby, let's keep going down. I've already lost the 50. I mean, are you going to break through this trend line? Are you? I mean, I like the cloud. The cloud looks cool. Could recover, but with this cross here, it's just, you know, kind of sideways and could have. That would be a lot better than it breaking this trend line, because it breaks this trend line, we're coming way down. So let's hope these trend lines kind of hold. I mean, if you're looking for some upward action, but yeah, look at this. What's that shape? Is that one of those weasels? That's untrustable symmetrical triangles. Mm-hmm. Astra's been a little bit high lately. It's been getting more attention. It's over on MEXC. She's just still kind of bottomed out in my personal opinion. Got a nice little bump. I have a bag of this, but I'm not as nearly crazy about it as I used to be. This may be the best places to get into it or whatever. There is a little sliver of green over here in the Ichimoku cloud that piques my interest. We are in the cloud. She may be doing something. She might. As long as she holds this area about 0.0033, doesn't lose that, we can definitely see some more upside. But most likely, maybe kind of range out a little bit, meaning trade between these areas, which is not a bad little area. It's about 140, 133% range in there. That's pretty sweet. Oh, there's an idea. Aave seems to be breaking. Gosh, these poor little altcoins, man. I'm telling you. Ichimoku cloud looks good to me, but the moving averages and the other indicators, they don't look good. So we can take a measure move, or we could target the 50 moving average. They both come out to be about the same area right there, about $60. Jimma! It's 59.25, right thereabouts. Time is hanging around at $13. She's going down, man. She's getting on sale. She got rejected up here, man. Bobby Joe said no. Broke her little heart. Got rejected, coming down to, where's she coming down to? Time, where are you coming down to? Hopefully down just as far as you were previously. $13.50. Let's hope it catches there. If it doesn't, then we got more downside. So yeah, you kind of suck for a pattern up there. You've kind of neglected that. I was hoping for following those two trends. It does give us one of those, like a reverse symmetrical triangle, an open and broadening wedge pattern, which is, you know, fairly bullish overall, but it just never has made it up anywhere toward those trend lines, so therefore it's not really all that valid. Well, to work with this weirdness, which is it's basically a scallop, you could see this as a possible inverse Adam and Eve, which would become bearish. I'm trying to figure out a measure move for this thing because the actual measure moves I take would just be too great for it. Or maybe it's not. Jeez, really? I'd have to see this, believe it, but I mean, there is a chance to reach $11 on this, which sucks because I paid a lot more than that for you. You guys got to let me know when you're going to go and sell. Don't just spring it on me. Let me know a little bit ahead of time. I think this area is. There's nothing there to tell me it has support, and so I really can't go for anything other than fibs, other than this one little crazy possibility that trend line will actually hold on a two-touch. That is the best scenario that we got coming for us right here, that this is a valid trend line and will hold. And that could bring us down to about 1323. Now that sounds a lot more reasonable to me personally. So I'm going to keep an eye on this area, not necessarily go crazy and buy on it, although it's juicy prices. But there's a probability that it can catch here and go up, and that's what we need to see. Dang time. What's up? So we looked at ORI chain, and it was looking all juicy, just kept going up, and then it broke her line in the sand, and that's when I say, well, if you're trading it, yeah, might want to think about taking, you definitely need to be taking profit. But we're getting a pullback. Now, is this a, how strong of a move is this? So it corresponds right here with this area. $2, $1.89 maybe in the cards. Might be. It could also just catch a bounce right here. Keep on going. This Ichimoku cloud looks very interesting to me. And let's see, with money flow, there's some divergence there. Okay. Yeah, it's going to take a little while, but down to this area. And I would not dismiss these areas down here. 165, 174. As the possibility we're starting to see the markets kind of wind down. If they are pivoting on the interest rate, historically in the markets within about 6 months, not every time, but more than not, they had a big drop. Traditional markets, and that would also affect crypto. I think we mentioned that before, but when they start lowering or not raising the rates, when they pivot and they start to change course, meaning they start to print that money again. Well, printing the money would help, actually. So I'm saying, I'm speaking the wrong terms there. When they would pivot, whatever, they're doing it. They paused and increasing the rate. there are just a lot of things saying that we may have some downside in what should be October, right? A little disappointing. But I mean, we're still in a bear market. We're in a bullish trend in the bear market until we actually flip into the, the bull run. I mean, but if you still want to be technical about it, we haven't made a lower low in Bitcoin, so we're still, we're still in that bullish trend until otherwise. Until we break below 25,500, we still got the possibility to make a higher high. Casper, you finally come down a little bit more, 4.3. You still have not broken that trend line. Man, you are strong. Your Kung Fu be strong. Casper's a badass. But now, if you do break through there, I'm ready for you. I'm right here to catch you. I won't let you fall too far. I won't. I'll catch you. Not a member. How's it going, not a member? This one's been interesting, and I haven't really messed with it since I was on KuCoin. Now, I wasn't interested in it for a long-term hold, but maybe a longer-term play, because it's in a nice area. So this thing's sitting at 2.8 cents currently, rose up to 4.4, so there's a nice little range there. A good chance that it could break out of this descending triangle to the upside. I say that because we are above the 200 moving average, tested it quite nicely, and this one appears to be in an uptrend, getting ready to break out. So there's a little alpha. If you're looking for something, want to take that risk, want to get out there, it might be, but it's not a fast play. Now you could look at this as a descending triangle, or you could look at it as a very slight falling wedge, one of those shallow ones. I prefer to look at it as a falling wedge because that's more optimistic. No, you got to be real. But it does look like it's going for a breakout. And I think 6.9 cents is the great target to try to play that. Just for starters. I think to say the 12.4 cents would be a little ambitious at this point, but that is an area eventually it will try to hit. Just based on this pattern alone, on this move right here. It's in the cards for it. It just may be, I don't know, maybe a year away for all you know. 2 years away, just to get that high. I wouldn't say 2 years, but it may be a nice little way. Just take a little bit of a conservative measured move, kind of brings us up to this area right around 9.7. An actual measure move, and let's go to an actual breakout point right up here, estimating about 10 cents. Those are some possible areas there. Return on investment buying the breakout. It's not even buying it now. Breakout is somewhere about 2.8 cents. Some nice returns there. Up to the first target at 6.9 cents. That's 140% return basically. 8.3 cents is 187% return. 220% if you can get back up here, which is a good possibility. It may take it a minute. That's our first measure move, 9.6 cents. Get a 2.3x out of that. Not bad. But how long will it take? She's looking bullish, I can tell you that. MACD's getting ready to cross that. It's got a lot of signs saying she's getting ready to pop. But remember, things could be looking a lot bearish for a lot of things, especially altcoins. So that's what we consider. Will it be one of those breakouts where it actually goes up and hits those targets, or will the markets be so kind of wild that, you know, it may be one of those breakups and then kind of ride it down? That would suck. That would not be fun. So there's a play here, but you may want to manage it very tightly if you decide to do that, in case it decides to get a little lackluster. We got to see some volume come on any kind of breakout, be this coin or any other coin. Take a look at Solana. Lots of people like Solana. Solonzo. Jim Cramer's calling, I think, for Bitcoin to crash. Could this be... Will he be right? Has he ever been right? There is just so much mixed information out there. I mean, look. Debt spiral could trigger a dollar crash and boost Bitcoin. Analyst suspects the worst for Bitcoin. Will bears force prices to 17,000? Bitcoin will shatter both silver and gold market caps, according to crypto analysis. So, I mean, a lot of different approaches out there, and we see the contradictions here. I mean, the 4 hour looks great, man. You couldn't ask on Bitcoin for anything. I mean, that's just good. That's doing what it's supposed to do. Retest a trend line. Great possibility to go up and retest this other trend line. Actually make it to 31,000. I mean, that's what we would normally look for. And we do have our moving averages lined up nicely. The 200, the 100, the 50. This one's starting to lose some ground here, but they're stacked up. They don't have to fight their way back up. So they're going to pull these other little guys up a little bit. So the smaller time frames look like she wants to do something. I would not be surprised if tomorrow turns out to be a bullish day, to be honest with you. But the bigger time frames are saying, you know, be careful. Be careful. So tomorrow, I actually expect a good chance, a very good chance that we may get a little bit of a pump. I just can't see it being a big, strong one. So what is Friday the 13th and the solar eclipse? How are they going to affect us? But I can't give you any point deductions of Bitcoin because you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, retesting this trend line. You're doing what you're supposed to do before you make a higher high. But those big time frames look scary, man. They look scary. Fargo says, man, my little chat thing keeps popping off. I can't read it. I click it and then I get this thing and I can't get this thing to go away unless I click it again, and it won't leave me alone. Go away. Now I got 2 boxes. I can't read it. Marco says everyone here will win big this coming bull run. We're graduating, boys. You're right, actually. You guys are in it to make you. If you're in it right now, taking this seriously, trying to work this with this DCA investing. Your perp traders, you know, good luck if that's all you're doing. That's highly risky. But swing traders, position traders, all you guys getting here on the bottoms, getting your plan set up for the, yeah, you're going to make life-changing money. You're doing it at the right time. I'm telling you. You can look back and go, yeah. But just watch your headspace as it starts going up, because we all get very susceptible to either being overly bullish or, I don't know. One of the problems that I faced was after you hear about the life-changing money and these humongous gains, like you hear, you know, somebody invested $5,000 and turn it into a millionaire, you probably will not see that much anymore. Not on the typical things that we look at anyway on this channel or most channels. That would be like Shiba before Shiba was out there. But you can definitely make life-changing money being in the market at this time. I seem to have lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere and then I got a rabbit squirrel in my way. But if you take $5,000 and you're just doing futures only or trying to do the leverage route and stuff, and especially if you're new to this, probably not the smartest move at all. You will probably think crypto is a scam after a little while, because they will try to eat you up and steal all your lunch money, and that's what the whales do. They'll slap you around. They know how to do it. But your more conservative ways of investing, you can't go wrong with that. The dollar cost average, the swing trading, position trading. That position trading is kind of like what we're talking about with the dollar cost average. You get in these juicy areas, you're trying to get as much of this possible into a big bag at the lowest price, and then when the real run starts, you got a little bank account that keeps growing that you just pull off of every once in a while. Just peel a little off, keep taking profit, peel a little off, man. Ride that baby up. It's an approach I like anyway, but that one takes a lot of patience and a lot of riding your portfolio up and down. But if you're more heavy into Bitcoin than the altcoins, your portfolio doesn't have those big, huge waves up and down. It's a lot more calmer. It's not as shaky. The waves won't get you. Your boat's not going to tumble over and collapse as likely. AGIX is at 16 cents. Oh, I feel like an idiot for holding that bag. My bag is still in profit. I got this thing super cheap and I'm just like, why am I holding on to you? I mean, really, you're just a liability. But I will not sell you at the bottom. I'm sorry. That's against my rule. If we're at bottom territory, why sell here? It's either going to go down or go up. And you don't know that for sure that it's going to go down. And if it goes up, well, I just sold at the bottom. There's a story to tell. What kind of story is that? I don't want to buy high, sell low. So on the channel, we were looking at this back when it was right basically around 5 cents. Had that nice pump up real high. We've not seen that anymore when it's up 60 cents. And the thing is, when things pop up, get a lot of attention, everybody's in on it, and then when things start coming down, you know, a lot of people are still very interested in it for a while. So a lot of people buying 33 cents. Oh, that's a bargain. From 60 cents, yeah, it is. Was it the best time to get in? No. After it loses that parabola, that big run up, there's going to be some accumulation, and it may get painful. So AGIX just going sideways and a little bit down, retesting some areas. Looking like she wants to try to regain some ground right now, but probably nothing spectacular. We're talking about maybe gaining a penny or two. Things are looking kind of wild. DCR still at some great prices. $12.41. We got Rune. Expecting it to continue down a little bit, doing a retest, and eventually maybe down 119, 136. Those could be definitely in the cards there. Rising wedge, you know, they usually break down a lot of times down close to where they, an 886 retracement, something through that. I hate to say it, but I mean, possible to get down to $1.04, $1.10 on Rune, but I really don't want to write it down. XRP, we're at 48 cents. I think Haven was on the show last night looking for a short, so I think she should be happy because it looks like it does want to continue on down. I'm looking about maybe a possibility of 42 cents there on the bigger picture, maybe down to 40 cents, could happen. And then we got QNT, which I don't even want to talk about you. Don't even want to talk about you anymore, QNT. What are you doing, baby? Come on. They're supposed to change the world. They're all supposed to change the world. But you've been a little bit of a disappointment, I've got to say. Technically in a bullish pattern. Prove it. I'll believe it when I see it. Come on, let's do something. Show me that you can get up above $150 and you'll make me smile again. But you hanging around at $85? Not that crazy about that. If you're going to just do this, come on back down to 50 and let me fill my bags up and feel a little bit better. Come on. I mean, let's make this right. Possibility she could come down to about $77 there if she continues to the bottom of the trend line here. Not really seeing much of anything to give me, make me too bullish on this, especially at this time right now. There is some bullish divergence forming. I'll say it's forming. I don't think we're through. I still think it's got some things to work out there. So not seeing the signs that I really want to see that we're getting a turnaround in QNT at the moment. Possibility to still keep coming down. Four hours trying to do a little of something, but no, not looking good. Not looking good. I know you got the little green dot, but your stochastics are all the way at the top and you haven't made any progress. You're coming down, baby. Marco says, Dog, do you think this will be the latest and greatest bull run? Probably the next one after will also be huge. Will gains decreases regulations start coming in the second bull cycle from now? You know, I've been wondering about that too. I mean, comparing the markets, because I'm leaning toward the one after this next one, which, gosh, man, that's, you know, I feel like I'm living in 4 cycle. My life is based around 4-year cycles now. I don't want to wait another 8 years for all that. I think the next cycle, what would that be, around 2030? Gosh, man, that's too. Why? It's 2023 right now. We're talking about 7 years in the future. Jeez. I think that will be a great one for altcoins. I think Bitcoin will already have itself established. But I think that this coming bull run, I think it's going to be mostly focused on Bitcoin. And that's just because the whole, you know, it's more of a global thing now. And, you know, we got institutions and bigger money having, it's getting, supposedly getting easier for, you know, they got their plans and they're doing their best to get in on this, at least on Bitcoin. I don't know what they, crypto in general, the other projects, the bigger money, I don't think really cares about them. I think they just care about Bitcoin store of value. Venture capitalists, things like that. You know, you got their other altcoins. Ethereum, I think that's in league with the bakers somehow. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of people starting to second guess Ethereum and the Ethereum Foundation at the moment. So they'll be interesting, but then you'll have your own ecosystems. I mean, you'll have blockchains that will service institutions and business and things like that. And so those are some cool projects to look at investing in, but you know, a lot of them, they will build their own private chains. I mean, a lot of them will. It doesn't mean that they're going to come use our public chains over here and conduct all their stuff on it. You know how they are. They want to, they're greedy. They want everything. They want to be in control. And so I think that's where things are going. We will have our public side and there will also be a private side. And that private side may sell and take a lot of the money away from the public side. Who knows? But I am more for the public decentralized processes and those type cryptos. And the more use cases, legitimate use cases that they can keep developing on these public chains, the better. But we don't seem to do that. We seem to all copy and paste. I mean, there's some innovation, and my hat's off to those. That's who I want. I want to see the innovators. that's who I want to find out about for long term. And you know, when you look at these projects, okay, yeah, you can do something, but it's going to change the world. And then we got meme coins that are taking off like crazy. You know, I mean, a lot of the crypto out there, I mean, your governance coins, I mean, come on. Uniswap, Unicoin, governance token, right? I mean, okay. There's some value there. Is it worth what the price of the coin is? Well, tell me. Versus, you know, things like Decred, things like Layer 1s, things, even Litecoin. I mean, come on. A lot of people may not agree or just slop it off, but I mean, it's its own chain that's been around. It's proven. It's like it's a version of Bitcoin on a different programming, on script instead of a different standard, different encryption standard, on script instead of SHA-256. And very secure. I could see, I mean, payments is going to be a big thing. I don't think that's going to get old. And I don't think you're going to send all your payments over in Pepe Coin or I don't know. At least a Layer 1 does have a more solid use case. And then you have some DeFi, but it depends on if they're using tokens for governance or if the token actual has a function, if it needs to be part, like Osmosis. That's what pays your gas fee on Osmosis. It's its own chain. It's not only a DEX, but it's its own chain. It has value. And that will increase with the transaction. So there's some good use cases, but there's some freaking awesome use cases that will develop, and new technologies that will be implemented with blockchain and NFT that will solve. I want something that solves problems. It makes it easy. Like for instance, if you wanted to have like a YouTuber, say someone did want to have like a trading group, but they, like me, just think it's senseless to charge people a subscription fee. Why not do an NFT? Kind of like what Token Matrix has got going on. Hey, there's an NFT, and then you give something of value for your community, and if your group is really worth something, if it's an awesome group, people want to get into it, well then members can sell their NFTs. They can increase some value. I don't know. There's just all kinds of applications. It gives you access to this channel or that channel, or access to this privilege or whatever. I don't know. I just think there's a lot better use cases for NFTs other than what they've currently been used for. And I think that's going to be very interesting to see that unfold. Bitcoin ecosystem with ordinals. Getting DeFi on Bitcoin, actually, through a Layer 2. With stacks, I think that's very interesting. So overall, it's some of those plays that I really like to dive in a little bit deeper to. And some of the things like you guys have been mentioning, even Tenet, I think I want to look into that one a little bit deeper. But Quant looks like it should be one of those, but she kind of sucking right now. Or says something telling me these opportunities won't last long. Well, one way that I do look at it is that we got the crypto total market cap, right? Like total 2. This is all the altcoins, Ethereum and everything. If they keep putting more coins out there on the markets, it's taking dollars, and it's also taking Bitcoin. It's taking attention away from Bitcoin. It's taking attention away from each other mostly. Bitcoin's going to have its own thing, and it's going to fluctuate for the total market cap. Bitcoin is always, in my opinion, going to hold the majority. It's always going to have that dominance, and we're sitting at 50%. 50% of the money's in Bitcoin right now as we speak. Out of all the money in crypto, half of it is in Bitcoin. Whether it's stable coins, I mean, there's more money in Bitcoin than stable coin. or any other coin. But over the years on these next runs, they keep adding more and more altcoins on all these chains. You know, this is going to dilute all this for total too. Be more money coming in, but it'll be so spread out. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. But then we'll see projects die off. You know, the strong ones will survive, and the ones that actually solve a real world problem. I mean, WorldCoin looks like it's trying to do that. I'm not for that, but I mean, it's interesting to see what they're doing, and it's interesting to see the projects that actually mix hardware with their coin. And I'm not advocating for WorldCoin and scanning your eyeballs or anything like that, or you're giving out your information or putting sensitive information. I don't know whatever it does. I'm not for it, from as I understand it. But it at least that coin has a function other than, you know, being a meme coin. I keep going back to meme coins, but there's other coins that are basically just worthless, that are tied to a project that really don't do anything for the project. The projects don't even need a coin. They just have one because it helps them to raise capital. And that's where we start getting the SEC kind of involved, because that does become a security if they're using the coin to raise capital. And it doesn't really have a utility other than maybe a minor utility. Or we'll make it do something just so it's not a secure. No, I mean, but in my opinion, the layer ones so far seem to be the safest and the best, because they benefit from everything that happens on the chain. But AGIX is like an AI marketplace. Great concept. I can see how it's going to be more important in the future. So I like it. There's a use case for here, but and some other AI projects, just depending on what they do. Just because it says AI doesn't mean it's great. But it would be really cool just to see something that would come a little bit more household name, something that would get a lot wider adoption, that would solve a problem with blockchain and just make it where it's easy to use, and you can use it without knowing that you're using it, that kind of thing. And I'd have to say that the most successful one, unfortunately, has been stable coins, which don't really increase in value. They probably had the best use case of all. Take a look at Render here. She dipped into the juicy buy zone, respected that trend line, respect baby, broke to the upside of a bearish pattern, and what are you doing? Are you back in? It's hard to tell right now. It does seem that she is getting rejected here at the 200. More than likely. Well, more than likely we're coming back down to about $1.62 here on Render. Unless she wants to do just a Hail Mary and just pop right back up. If we can get above the 9 moving average, 178, we can start looking at a dollar or 208, 228, somewhere through there. She's got a possibility to do that. Let's come down to smaller time frames. I'm kind of doubting that I'm going to see that down here. Doesn't look like it wants to do it on the smaller time frames just yet. That looks actually valid. So inverted head and shoulder, or regular head and shoulders, slanted, may not play out as well. Looks like it wants to throw us back down to the end of this trend line. We're talking about 158 being possible. If that happens, since we broke out to the top side, maybe having people at play, powers at play, that want to drive us down to the bottom and maybe below this trend line a little bit. So it may be something lower, 148. Just keep that in mind. Sometimes they get a little tricky that way. Marco says, great explanation. Most is hype and charlatans more and more. You explain, Doug. We are so early. We are really early. We really are. And a lot of the best projects, the really good projects, aren't even aren't even out there yet. But yeah, this market is hype. It is. And in that aspect, I can see why, maybe if it wasn't Gary Gensler in office and somebody else in there, I can see why they're, that would be a target for them, because there is. There's a lot of empty space in this. There is a lot of bubble territory in this. But you really see that go on in the bull market. That the bull market is nothing but hype. That is what it is. It is straight up hype. And it's all centered around Bitcoin getting scarce. And all the altcoins get to ride along with it, right? And that's kind of cool. For them, they get exposure and people start buying them, get bored with Bitcoin when it goes sideways, put in altcoins. And then, of course, altcoins can outperform Bitcoin in the market. And I like this little guy. I like BET, B-Chain, the Chinese logistics coin. It has a purpose, logistics, tracking. For supply and demand, that's a good use for blockchain. It's got a ton of coins though, but it performs good. It has bull market after bull market. It's been doing extremely well. So you can see this guy that's sitting at about like a penny and a half, get up to 30 cents, and you say, yeah, baby. I'm gonna buy more of you next time. And so that's what I'm doing. I bought more of it this time. I've been sitting on this. I'm waiting for this baby to rock and roll. Marco says, seems like payment solutions, NFT, secure privacy would be most important utilities we're seeking in crypto. Yeah, and NFT that actually has use case and things like that. Yeah. I think there's a lot that they can unlock with NFTs, and especially, but it's our regulation just keep them from, going in that direction. They were already tokenizing stocks until the SEC just flipped its lid. But they were doing, I think, over on Solana chain, right? Mirror Protocol. There was Tesla. I remember Tesla token being, it was actually represented stock. They were tokenized, but that creates a big cluster of cluck of in regulation, so that got swept. That's no longer available. But imagine when they do all this stuff. Cool. But I just think Wall Street's going to give us the burn, and they're going to say, oh, screw those crypto guys. We have our own chain, and we're going to blow it up. And so they'll be doing all that stuff over there, all the registrations and, whatever, putting your titles in, because they can, I don't know if it'll be a custody issue or a trust issue, and it's just the same old headache. Just gives them easier control to take the stuff away from you. That's the beauty, the true beauty of the public blockchains. Public. Like Bitcoin and even Ethereum, the concept behind Ethereum and the other chains like maybe Cosmos and things. And where you can have ownership or proof of ownership. And it's being decentralized, and you can't be denied that. And code is law. I like that idea. I like that concept, because leaving things to a government body to do things, we see how that works out. Leaving it to private corporations to be in control, we see how that works out. Oh gosh, and if you mix government and corporations, put them together, wow, look at the things that they can do. Makes the world such a lovely place that we know now today. What do you guys think about the world today? So, the people need the power, and the blockchain, the public blockchains are that, and that's Bitcoin, baby. And truthfully, I don't want anything to come around to compete with Bitcoin. Because I don't think anything can top Bitcoin. I don't think anything can be relaunched in such a fair way. And it sucks for us to have missed out on it for a long time. While some whales sit on hundreds of millions of Bitcoin or something crazy like that. They've been in the game since the early days, but you know, they saw the risk and saw the beauty of it. And then they say you get as much Bitcoin as you deserve. I had 10 at one time back in the day. And it was through trading. I actually got it through trading back in the day and thought, oh yeah, I can do this again. Famous last words. That was probably one of the best trades that I could ever claim vision to, even though back then it wasn't worth that much. Compared to today, to have a swing trade to give you 10 Bitcoin. Oh man. I was trading something against Litecoin, ended up getting 100 Litecoin, and at that time in the game, 100 Litecoin gave me 10 Bitcoin. And then I got stupid. Because I did not understand the market, and I did not understand technical analysis. Had I known these things back then, I might have me a Lambo. I think we looked at A0 earlier. Dropping to the downside there is 73 cents. Theta still hanging around at these low areas at 58 cents. Might be a decent place to buy this. It was a decent place last cycle, I'll say that. At this point in the market last cycle, 58 cents was a good place for Theta. And I think Theta went up to around $16. So are we going to see altcoins reach a new lower low than they did last cycle? I mean, it's not healthy for them to make a lower low. There's some that are dangerously low to where they were last cycle. And then some of them have actually made a little bit of increase, say over the past year. But we're getting close to where we're getting out of this part of the cycle. I mean, it doesn't seem like it now. It seems dire, and it could get worse because, I mean, it gets painful. The bull markets get painful. We've seen some of it back when Bitcoin dipped to 15,000 and everybody was scared, but it still didn't flush out all the altcoins. And there may still be a little bit more pain coming for some of the altcoins. Just my personal opinion, what I can see on the chart so far. But the perfect time to have a strategy just to nibble at it as it comes down and accumulates. Because all it is, accumulation, maybe. They were trying to get things, especially Ethereum and Bitcoin, at some juicy prices. The big dogs want to accumulate at some discounts. That's what they're working on right now. And they seem to be doing it pretty well with Ethereum. Driving that one down a little bit. Where are you, ETH? I miss having my volume. I need to get another chart. The volume can tell you a lot. So good old Ethereum here on the daily. Take one look at this. Marco says the hype gets annoying at times. There goes that box again. Gets annoying at times when you have a coin with real world use case and you're only up 10% with some crab coin and just 10%. I know what you're saying. Some of Some of the ones that look like they should be going up don't go up, and then ones that are crap coins just take off. So it's hilarious because Bitcoin was the only coin. I can't request that freaking box. Got my box, man. It's hilarious because Bitcoin was the only coin people should have hodled. We'll get wrecked with the same gameplay holding alts. Hindsight, like you said, if we just concentrated on BTC only. Well, I don't want to neglect the altcoins, no, because you can make some money in altcoins. Don't get me wrong. I mean, 2017 was that, but that was Ethereum's year. That's when, I mean, it was exciting for blockchain because, damn, I mean, we can put a computer on here. They can do contracts. What's that even mean? They went ape crap over that. Ethereum changed the game. It really did, because before Ethereum, there was just all these, everybody's making up their own little blockchain coin, Feather coin, this coin, Bill Murray had a coin for everything, just copy, paste. Oh, here's a new coin, just like a new Litecoin. They were all just forks, and that got old, and Ethereum actually revolutionized things, but it wasn't, it was, I remember looking at that with the new tokens coming out on Ethereum. I'm like, why do I want a token that's on, it took a while for it to sink into me how Ethereum worked and what exactly that it was. It was harder for me to wrap my mind around that than it was Bitcoin, and I wouldn't mess with it for a while. But stable coins revolutionized everything because of Ethereum. But we don't have to have just Ethereum. We can put them on whatever chain now, because everybody's copied Ethereum's program and then added to it other blockchains. Being multi-chain is the big thing, and that's why I like Cosmos ecosystem and Polkadot, which Polkadot needs to start doing some stuff. Cosmos, I think, is the dark horse because that chain is actively developing. I'm sure there's some others, but I mean, nothing's coming to mind like FTM and Avalanche, and the ecosystem's evolving on them. I'm not as familiar with them. I'm mostly familiar with Cosmos because that's what I use. But there's other ecosystems on all these chains that can build out. It's like a competition of department stores, I guess, in a way. But then we're getting to where these chains can interact with each other, and we've been looking at some projects that could actually trade against each other, all right? Like a DEXs, where decentralized exchanges where you can actually trade Bitcoin for Ethereum without going through all the wrap crap, and they're looking at some of those things. I don't know how all that's going to work, but anyway, where it's just easier if I can navigate from one chain to another, that will be interesting. So WanChain is one such project that I've been in for a while and been using their DeFi, what's it called? Gosh, I've already forgot. But she's like at 16 cents now, and this is about where it was last time too. I think this was the last cycle. Oh, you got all the way down to 9. I mean, it's painfully slow to hold it, but then it gets on a good little run. I mean, she went from 9 cents on up to 2.59. There's a long wait too. But it's an interoperable play, and it works with, I think it works with Cosmos, FET. They have Ethereum. I know they got Doge over on the DEX, so they're growing. They just do no marketing, so they get no hype. They don't believe in the hype. They're just like, they're like your basic utility function, like your generic utility, but it's interoperable. It's just kind of cool, decentralized project. But they have no marketing people out there pushing it and everything to boost the prices up. This is just the authentic price, but it has value in my opinion, and it does pretty good. She can just be slow. All right, guys, I appreciate you for being here. I'm going to go ahead and bump off tonight, but thank you. If you can, hit that like button, and we'll tune in tomorrow and see how this Friday the 13th kind of solar eclipse thing turns out. And hopefully everything, the market won't just tank and crash, but tis something to watch. Good night, everybody. God bless you.
Come on, come here, boy. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Feet high off the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you wish really was part your life. Basic bullets.